Hello, hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Zafina of the Psychonics, and today we're going to be going through Death and Rebirth. This is the next major story update from Love and Deepspace, and we weren't necessarily anticipating this. I thought our next big update was going to be the mid-year major update in July, just because of how things released last year, but that's clearly not the case. There were other things I initially wanted to get out of my channel beforehand, but when this update has come out, I'm prioritizing this. I am a lore fiend and a main story worshipper. I'm so excited, especially with Zane being my main and Silas being my second, though I do desperately and deeply love all of the love interests. So please, I hope you look forward to spending time with me as we go through this together. I will be voicing through everything, as well as reacting and trying to loop things into other theories, as well as other bits of lore that I do remember off the top of my head. I might in the moment forget certain things, but please give me grace. I'm so excited, and my heart is beating so fast. Oh, this music is stunning. Oh my god, okay. Okay, I'm so excited. The things that are mainly getting to me is finally we have Silas back in the main story, and then we also are seeing Zane. He's once again in his Dawnbreaker gal, but there's a lot of a mystery with how he's acting, and I'm so happy about the fact that we finally get to see Zane in an action sequence. Throughout the entirety of the main story, a lot of the times you didn't necessarily see him in his element that way, so seeing that in the trailer was fantastic, and I'm really excited to see what else is essentially going on throughout the story. Death and Rebirth is a very interesting name, especially with what we know the cycles of reincarnation and rebirth sit like in the games. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into a new objective. Within the span of a single month, the Farspace fleet's significant return and subsequent secret departure stirs intense public discussion. The rumours that circulated when Skyhaven was under martial law discussed the fleet's armed operations to eliminate certain anomalous wanderers. While no footage of these events has surfaced, the fleet's tight-lipped response has inevitably sown seeds of panic among the population. After the Chrono Rift catastrophe, the Hunters Association released several reports on Wanderer evolution and their mutations. Like humans, the Wanderers continue to grow stronger. Peace remains a distant goal for this world. As people grow increasingly uneasy about the fleet's mysterious operations, a bombshell announcement takes everyone by surprise. Immediately, this is the background at the end of the last section where Caleb was speaking to the professor, Viper was there, some mysterious girl was there, as well as some mysterious sickly man. So, Eva announces the imminent launch of a project called the Fountain of Atay, their search for immortality. The 40-second preview quickly becomes a global sensation and the focal point of discussions worldwide. This Eva has balls to be doing this. The internet debates the development and application of protocol technology. Skyhaven, powered by protocol energy, becomes the target of widespread criticism due to the fleet's recent actions. Countless conspiracy theories emerge. This also ties in to Zane's protocol research when he was a teenager. During Zane's World Underneath chapters, and quite specifically, it's the first and the second World Underneath chapter that link to this. It's essentially Zane was doing research in the field of cardiology with protocols, but it essentially created this Wanderer-esque virus, and there's something that I actually detail in a very long thread that I made on Twitter. I will one day be doing a whole character analysis and how all of that lore ties in together, but very interestingly, that research was then taken by Carter to Xander Sciences and renamed X-Heart, and now with the whole Fountain of Atay project, I wouldn't be surprised if ever other ones creating Wanderers, but also if Zane's research actually links into it, and it's for the creation of more and more protocols for more energy. It's not just the pursuit of immortality, but it's this consistent loop, essentially. Okay. Beneath the floating island, Lincoln's scattered lights weave in an intricate web across the land. In the wildless night, dark figures flit by glass walls. They're quickly masked by the red glow of aircraft warning lights atop skyscrapers. The unrest brewing on night seeps quietly into the physical world and ferments under the Lincoln's facade of normalcy. Waves of controversial topics stoke the growing public outrage. The Association becomes the primary target of this rising tide. Wait, why? We're the ones who are helping. In response, the Association implements a series of countermeasures. This includes the covert relocation of the spatium core stored in the Association's building. Protocol transport vehicle.
Ha! Look at all the online discussions. It's a circus now. What is Ever really up to? Did you guys find any leads? Throwing around phrases like groundbreaking achievement and the next step in human evolution. They've got guts.
That they do, Simone. In a self-driving protocol vehicle, Simone scrolls through an endless stream of updates on her phone.
Given their extensive research into protocores, they do have the credentials to back up such...
As a protoist, I'm all for advancing protocore tech. But Ever... With methods as sketchy as theirs, they might drag us down with them.
The Fountain of Ate has reignited the purest attacks against protocores.
Okay, so protoists must be people who are for protocols, purists must be people who are against the utilization of protocols, okay. At their core, the protoists and purists represent two opposing viewpoints: support for the development of protocol technology and the opposition to it. The purists believe that though protocols are powerful, they're dangerous, there are too many unknowns, and overzealous research can lead to a catastrophic crisis. In earlier years, they urged humanity not to be blinded by profit. They argued that using Earth's natural energy resources was the only way to ensure civilization survived in a stable condition.
Our latest missions have been targeted by their radical members. That's why we need to transport the spatium core in secret.
Like, I'm with you and I can comprehend the purists somewhat, but the hunters are not the ones that you should be going after. The hunters are the ones who are dealing with the wanderers. Yes, that also then means that they have to handle protocols, but in the end of the day, it's keeping a safer environment. Technological advancement and like the military that are literally keeping you alive kind of have to sit within two separate banks. But obviously, we know how things play out with factions, especially when technology and politics overlap. It gets messy. Lines get blurred.
Both of you need to be on high alert.
If those purists dare to cause trouble, they can say hello to my protocore particle cannon.
That's my girl, Simone. That's my girl, Simone.
We shouldn't be too hostile. While they're traditional, certain prototists can be just as extreme. After all, we've only researched less than 10% of a protocore's potential. There's nothing wrong with maintaining a healthy respect for the unknown.
I agree with Andrew.
Wow, Andrew. A deep space hunter like you is defending the purists? They're the ones trying to stop our technological progress.
Yeah, but technological progress has to be like... It can't just be blindly made just because it's progress. It also has to be made with sanctions and extra consideration. I'm a bit... Haven't the purists been quiet for several years now?
That's because our protocore tech has developed so rapidly and successfully these past few years. The stuff's been integrated into every aspect of our daily lives, big and small. The purists always insisted that humans shouldn't develop protocore technology, but the reality is humanity can't live without it now. Facts speak louder than words.
Improving a person's quality of life, fighting wanderers, and helping humanity explore the deep space tunnel and secrets beyond our universe. The prototist's vision for the future is being realized one step at a time, without concrete evidence to support the purist claims. It's only natural that they lost ground.
What about you? Whose side are you on?
Don't make me choose. Oh! What's a chocotists? That's making me think of chocobos from Final Fantasy. Chocotists? I want to press that. I'm going to press that option. Haha. I side with the limited edition chocolate pie from the Association cafeteria. It's delicious and replenishes your stamina. The vehicle passes through the tunnel, which is the last highly dangerous point on our designated route. The secure vault is at the end of this road.
Metaflux levels are within a stable range. Begin storage intake procedures.
We really worked hard today. Since this is our last shift, let's finish strong. Late night snacks are on me.
You can't be excited about something. You've just cursed the narrative. Things are going to go south. Wait. There's a massive surge of metaflux heading straight for us. It's coming in fast.
The readings are normal. You guys...
Whoa! At that moment, a truck wreathed in flames and crackling with... powerful metaflux comes barreling towards us from behind. It's going at full speed. As soon as Simone and I jump out of the cargo holder, our transport vehicle is violently thrown into the air. An explosion releases searing heat behind us. Wait, what about the protocol? We have an emergency. Transport vehicle IO9 is under attack. Coordinates are being transmitted, requesting backup. Before we can find our footing, there's another explosion. We're sent flying through the air. Protocol particles drift around the overturned transport vehicle. Through my blurred vision, I see several distorted figures emerging from the flames.
Go. You're free.
The unfamiliar voice is masked by the crackling flames. My ears are still ringing, and I can't tell if what I'm hearing is real or just in my head.
It's a shame we're seeing each other again when you're in such a pitiful state.
Who is this? Could this be one of the Ever researchers that was originally experimenting on MC?
Did Josephine ever mention our time together at the Gaia Research Center?
Oh my god, why did I even talk? Who are you?
I guess not.
Excruciating pain tears through my entire body as my heart begins to tremble uncontrollably.
Who I am doesn't matter. The real question is, who are you?
Zafina Lee. She suddenly grabs my throat and a sharp pain pierces my neck. It's like 1,000 needles just stabbed me. I feel like I'm being suffocated as I lose control of my limbs. My heart pounds violently while a chaotic force stirs within my body. Blood trickles down my forehead. Through my crimson-tinted vision, I see the container holding the spaceship core roll into view.
You were born in the depths of deep space. You were supposed to be ours. A one-of-a-kind, precious creation.
What? Oh, wait. Born in the depths of deep space. But wait. But the deep space tunnel only opened. Hold on. How did she? Okay, we know that MC's magic essentially aligns with the universe itself, and it's like this emotional. How do I explain it? It's like across multiple spheres, both physical, mental, emotional, but also elemental, metaphysical, etc. She can resonate and empathize with things. So I'm so curious as to how that's going to align with this deep space element.
Without the key, the fountain of Ate will only remain a poor imitation.
She's the key to immortality because she's also pure immortal. Okay, this is so interesting because Raphael, for example, goes through cycles of rebirth. We see Silas, we're not completely 100% sure, but we at least know he's reincarnated in a way. Zane definitely goes through reincarnation across the different fragments of reality that he lives in. And then Xavier is like stagnant in immortality in the sense that he's immortal but not without any reincarnation. He's the exact same entity. So this, oh my god, it's so interesting how okay, no, my brain is being fried right now. Dazed, I hear something faintly crack. Suddenly an unprecedented power surges through my veins and bursts forth with brilliant light.
The key belongs to no one else. You are the one who holds all of its secrets.
And I'm not yours to take. Dumbass. Transporting the spaceship core was a classified mission for special operations. The attack wasn't revealed to the outside world. After spending 2 days in the hospital, Simone and I were ordered to suspend all missions and focus on resting until we made a full recovery. Afterward, Jenna secretly visited us to reveal the truth. The association president, as well as others, suspected there was a high-ranking mole in the association. Since Simone and I were now known to the enemy, we needed to lay low. Our temporary suspension was to protect us and serve as a smokescreen. Externally, the radical purists needed to be handled with caution. Internally, dealing with a mole would inevitably disrupt their plans. Jenna didn't talk about the spaceship core. She just gave me a look that told me to be patient. What happened to the spaceship core? Because it came into view, but then what happened? And was it MC's resonance that caused that burst? Chaotic energy courses through my blood. The burning sensation in my chest is more intense than the pain from my injuries. Where is Zane? Where is her primary care physician? Unable to sleep, I toss and turn. Then I finally sit up and turn on the bedside lamp. My heartbeat is faster than usual. I gently press my hands against my chest and rest my head on my knees. I can't believe I ended up absorbing the spatium core. Wait a sec. Oh. Because they said in the beginning, literally the president said in the beginning that MC could actually inherit new abilities. Her potential, okay, so as I literally just said, because she's able to resonate with different kinds of energies, and she was able to absorb that ether core at the end of long awaited revelry, it might work similarly with the spatium core where she essentially resonated and then took its power, so she absorbed it. She's like this funnel that just, and this well that just can continually take more and more energy. Okay, I can't believe I ended up absorbing the spatium core. Why me? Oh, you have a freaking thingy in your heart, bro. Another sharp pain strikes my chest as several strange energy streams are torn apart. They proceed to merge together and create an endless, restless turbulence.
Did Josephine ever mention our time together at the Gaia Research Center?
This is going to be MC wanting to know more about Unicorn.
The key belongs to no one else. You are the one who holds all of its secrets.
I'm so glad we're getting maybe a bit more on Josephine. Grandma. The research materials Grandma left behind might not just be an unfinished story. They could be a link in a much larger chain. Unicorn and the Gaia Research Center. That's where time has sealed away the truth I seek. The Gaia Research Center. If I remember correctly, it was in what used to be the most prosperous district, now known as... I've literally been saying that the Gaia Research Unit, where they did... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm yelling. I've literally been saying that the Gaia Research Unit, where they did the research on MC and Project Unicorn, had to have been in the N109 zone before it became the N109 zone. And something happened happened there, which turned it into the N109 zone. A lot of people were naysaying me, like, oh no, the Gaia Research Unit was in Lincoln. But okay, but the N109 zone had to be something before it became a no-hunt zone. Oh, I'm so validated right now. I feel so validated right now. Let's see if there's a key waiting for my return. Once my injuries are healed, I don't hesitate. I report my next target during my administrative leave to Jenna via a secret comms channel. The ruins of the Gaia Research Center, located in the N109 zone. Silas, baby! Wait. Arctic Fractal Library? Ready, we're on oh my god, Zane? Okay. Zane's chapter in the new 5 chapters that were released, this is before Serpent's Cast. Zane's chapter was Fractal Library. He was not explicitly in it, but potentially most likely was the little boy who turns up. But within the chapter, they talk about the fact that the owner of the library, they make a lot of allusions to different lives that Zane has left, but also sci-fi novels. This is another thing I want to talk about because it's very, very literary, whilst also high concept sci-fi. But for Zane, the key thing is he's the atheist, and essentially, like, Zane is an entity who is always linked to fate on a celestial sphere and an immortal on a celestial sphere. He's like linked to essentially the universe itself is what I've been trying to posit. So Fractal Library was very, very validating to me. But I'm actually surprised that we're now back here. And apparently being able to perceive the Fractal Library in the Arctic is very interesting to me. Okay. Amidst the snow-covered mountains stand a building of precise geometric perfection, the Fractal Library. It was erected at an unknown time. The library doors slowly part. Wearing robes, a young boy with snow-white hair pushes them open. A soft, ethereal light spills out from behind the doorway and touches the snow. The boy looks down and gently scoops up the small white creature by his feet.
It's time to collect what's due from the 7-year promise, Shuchi. We need to pay the emissary a visit.
7-year promise. Emissary. Well, at least I would presume that Zane is actually meant to be the owner of the Fractal Library, but I
wonder how he's doing. How have these 7 years treated him? Is he getting along with his classmates? Did he succeed in his thesis defense?
Is he talking about Zane? Like, he has to be talking about Zane, because Fractal Library is about Zane. But 7 years. Zane's technically 27 now. Well, like, 27 at the start of the story and everything. So it would have been when he was 20? As the white light fades, the boy's foot sinks into something soft. Snowflakes fall onto his head. He's surprised.
Huh? How did the library end up here? Did I mess up the incantation?
So the fractal library exists beyond space and time, and it can actually move. I do remember it's essentially because it works a lot on people's perceptions, like how you view the different books in the fractal library depends on your own perception and your own way to be able to actually absorb that information. So I know that the library in Fractal Library Q&A there was an administrator, but now I was imagining the administrator as a man as opposed to a boy, but I do know a boy entered. So I'm curious if this is said boy, if Zane was said boy, but we do know the owner of the Fractal Library. At least, okay. I posit that the true owner of the Fractal Library that they carry on alluding to is Zane himself. The white creature suddenly leaps down and runs away. Its tail playfully draws arcs in the snow behind it.
Shuchi! I know you haven't seen snow in a long time, but that doesn't mean you can just run off.
Wait, do you think it went here to the Arctic because Zane's in the Arctic? The boy hastily grabs his traveling bag and runs after the creature. He manages to catch its tail just before he falls face first into the snow. Behind him, the massive library doors slowly close. He raises his hand only to realize he left the Accessus bracelet the emissary gave him in the library.
Oh, Book of Answers, just this once, would you be so kind as to tell me where I am?
He's so cute. I love his outfit. It's also very, like, I'm not gonna lie, his outfit's giving slight sci-fi, but very like fantasy, and it's like got the Chinese kind of aesthetic. His bag suddenly bulges as a thick book emerges from it. Opening itself, it rapidly flips through its pages before finally materializing two words. The Arctic.
How long will it take to get back to Lincoln City?
The Book of Answers flips its pages once more. 8,000 kilometers! Is he gonna what if he meets Dr. Noah? In the desolate Arctic, a boy and his companions silently drag their luggage, their figures gradually vanishing into the endless expanse of white. Oh, this is already so good! This is already so validating and good. Oh my god, and that was all just the first freaking part of the chapter? Oh, baby, we're gonna be here for a while. Okay! Charon. Second part of the story is Charon. If I remember correctly, Charon is the ferryman of the dead. Yes, I was correct. He is the ferryman of the dead. Interesting how this is going to align. Leaving the southern area of Lincoln City, I drive down Bear Boulevard. Bear Boulevard, sorry, that's a funny name. The scenery on both sides of this wide street slowly deteriorates. After I installed the anti-interference chip Silas sent me, my king, on my motorcycle, I've been able to freely pass through the proto-field disrupted no-hunt zones number 62 to 65 and arrive at what was once the most prosperous tech hub in the region. Now it has become a criminal's paradise, the N109 zone. The abandoned building where I first met him still stands in the desolate courtyard. Come to think of it, a lot of time has passed since my initial meeting with the feared leader of Honor-Kindness. Okay, so this is where it's a bit jarring because obviously their romance has taken place, but like separately. This is like main like story, which is like a bit romance separate. So it is a bit of a flip back. After entering the N109 zone, the streets remain deserted. Not a soul can be seen, but it becomes livelier as I approach the central district. A river of people flows through the streets. They surge with me toward the same destination.
Darling, don't go far away. Stay right next to me, darling.
What's going on? It sounds like it's coming from Charon. Above the streets, massive holographic screens glow neon blue. They display live footage of the district in 4 areas. A scarred woman is bandaging a knife wound in her shoulder at a street corner, and a boy who cornered a wanderer in a dark alley rips out his protocol with his bare hand. A gang member plunges a dagger into his companion's chest. Isn't Charon supposed to be a trading hub? Why are they fighting? At the top of the display, rows of names and numbers flicker rapidly. Old ones are erased and new ones appear in their place. Is this some kind of competition? Okay, Hunger Games. Nothing that happens in the N109 zone surprises me anymore. I turn my attention away from the massive display and keep trying to call Silas. When I visited the odd workshop, its owner knew Grandma. They were probably colleagues. If I want to find out where the Gaia Research Center was located, he probably has some leads. Silas had raced through the streets to get us to the odd workshop, and I was unfamiliar with the N109 zone back then. To find it again, the most effective way would be to ask Silas. He's not answering. Fine. I'll just fetch him from Onakainus' base. Driving my 270 HM, I'm about to make a turn into the alley ahead when a bullet whizzes past me. It grazes my temple. My body lurches to the side as I dodge, but the momentum sends my bike sliding in until it crashes into a corner. It's completely wrecked. I barely regain my footing when another bullet tears through the air. It's heading straight for me. A cane flashes. Silas's music. Silas's music. And a cane. A cane, a cane, a cane. In the anniversary event, Silas's weapon was a cane. A cane flashes before me and deflects the bullet. It ricochets into the wall and leaves behind a smoking hole.
Watch your step, kid. There are places you shouldn't wander into.
At my feet, a thin orange-red laser stretches across the street to the buildings on both sides of the
Caron is
street.
hosting its Triennial Zalion hunt right now. Everything beyond that line is in the killing zone.
I thought that was going to be Silas's cane. Pause. What's Zion? So Zion is a Greek word for animal. Triennial animal hunt.
One step is all it takes for the surveillance drones to lock onto you with their multi-lens systems. Then they'll automatically register you as a participant.
That's why
Every
everyone's
criminal
fighting.
in the N109 zone is waiting to hunt down the lost lambs who walk in.
I dust myself off and get up. Who are you? The man before me appears to be in his 50s or 60s. His white hair is neatly combed under a gentleman's hat. And he's using an old-fashioned cane as support. He stands in stark contrast to the chaos of these streets.
I'm just a ferryman on the river Styx. I help travelers
He's Charon.
cross. Are you planning to cross Caron's river?
Like a king surveying his domain, he turns to look at the eastern and western districts of Charon that are surrounded by orange
Shall
lace
I be your
barriers.
guide?
Please, sir. Send me to Hades, who's clearly Silas. Sure, but will I be safe if I follow you? He reaches behind his ear and produces a round chip no bigger than a fingernail.
This is an ID camouflage chip. If you have one, it masks your biometric data so you can't be traced. As long as you're within 3 steps of me, you'll be within its range of concealment.
With tech like this, he's definitely not just a random passerby. Sent by Silas? I'll be frank. I hope you don't plan on doing any tricks.
I understand your concerns. In a place like the N109 zone, being cautious is what keeps you alive. Let's go.
With my biometric data masked, I follow this unfamiliar elderly man into the devastated eastern district of Charon. Okay. She's essentially walking with the ferryman of the dead to get to Hades. I love this. Because she's basically Persephone. In this whole specific... specifically in a Silas MC dynamic, she's Persephone. Zion hunt. The stench of gunpowder and blood fills the streets, and the continuous metaflux explosions make my heart pound like a drum. If you're not like those criminals, then you shouldn't mind answering a few questions. What are the rules for the Zion hunt? The cold wind sweeps past us as 3 humanoid wanderers crash into a roadside shop. They grab and tear a person's limbs apart. But then a sudden protocore explosion engulfs the storefront.
They're like that. Hunts of the primal variety. People become hunters and prey to fight for a gold coin. With it, they'll be granted one wish from the Lord of Charon. At the very end, Whoever enters the central arena with the coin and remains the last one standing becomes the winner.
This is a battle royale, but from the upper floor of a shop, a drunken man leans halfway out. He quietly raises his gun in our
You
direction.
can use evil weapons, protocore weapons, and your own fists.
The roar resounds before the bullet can leave the gun. We remain untouched as our would-be attacker falls, his chest pierced by metal bullets.
Wanderers are just another weapon people use to hunt each other.
The drones record everything. The screens immediately cycle between shots of death and victory. And somewhere in the darkness, thunderous cheers erupt from the crowd.
What a waste. I've seen him before. He's formidable when he isn't drunk.
The man stops, his hands clasped over his cane. He closes his eyes as if to observe a moment of silence for the deceased.
Isn't it brutal? I hope you weren't frightened.
It takes more than that to scare me. I've witnessed deaths worse than this.
Indeed. Life has a way of catching us off guard.
Stepping over the fallen body, he leads me to a place with a brilliantly lit sign that reads Elysium, the true paradise. The fields! The fields! The Elysium fields! So, Elysium or the Elysian fields are where blessed and like honored souls would go after death. So, this meant to be like that one respite. But I also feel like, if I remember correctly, MC actually comes into Elysium during Silas's myth. Like, base game myth.
Hey, next round's on me!
No, I'm gonna be late.
You're gonna get lost. Throw it on my...
Also, we do get a bit more insight into Elysium in Silas's second World Underneath chapter, so I'm very curious if we're gonna find out more about the lady behind the counter.
Tap, whatever they want.
Or at least see her again. The familiar bar is packed tonight. Everyone clutches their drinks as they're gathered around a screen that's broadcasting the Zion Hunt.
Here are the latest predictions. You can't miss these guaranteed winners. Come one, come all. Who wants to join the fray? Join us!
Stop banging on my tables. Do you think hiding in my little sanctuary and drinking your life away makes you special?
It's not like I don't pay for my drinks. I'd rather drink myself to death here than get killed the moment I step outside.
Amidst the cacophony of voices urging people to place their bets, this dangerous business brewed from human lives proves to be very enticing.
A lot of folks are placing bets this year. But being the hunt's primary target isn't exactly a blessing.
Opportunity is always born from danger. It's a traditional rule of the Zalian hunt.
The elderly voice cuts through the air with commanding authority. Everyone turns their head at the same time.
Our old man Dimitri's here!
Dimitri?
Who's your pick this year, old man?
I need to discuss something with a friend. Would you mind waiting here for a moment? The meal sets here are good, and the drinks are decent. Give them a try if you're interested.
Oh my god, so in Silas's second World Underneath chapter, it's essentially a menu, and one of them is alluded to essentially be for MC. And Silas is apparently the side dish. Maybe that's how she's able to get into contact with Silas. I politely nod. I politely nod, however, I've decided not to touch the food in this place.
Dear, why did you say our drinks are decent? You're so picky, Gramps.
A pair of lemon-scented hands encircle my neck, but they quickly pull away before I can retaliate. The owner of Elysium moves to face me.
Ah, we meet again, Missy. You're really something else if you know someone like Dimitri.
His name is Dimitri? Who is he exactly?
He's the Lord of Charon. As the true owner of Charon, Dimitri is the one who hosts the Zion Hunt. The arena at the center of the market belongs to him too.
What an interesting man. But Charon is supposed to be a free trading zone. How can a place like that have an owner?
You're not the only one curious about it. But Dimitri's background... Elysium has been open for years, but I haven't heard anything about his past. Even Silas, the leader of Anakinus, keeps his distance from Dimitri.
That is precarious, but I also feel like Dimitri choosing to help NC is very deliberate. So, come to think of it, Silas hasn't mentioned him before.
Since this isn't our first meeting, let me properly introduce myself. Aslin. That's my name.
Aslin. Zafina.
Would you like to order something?
I'll pass. I didn't bring my wallet. Aslin flips Cull into a mysterious smile.
Elysium doesn't always collect payment in cash, and our services extend beyond just filling empty stomachs.
Before I can ask for details, Dimitri returns and gives me a nod.
I've finished my business. Come here. I'll escort you out.
Behind the counter, Aslin lowers her voice and winks.
If you need anything special in the future, ask for the connoisseur's menu. I'll give you a 20% discount. Bye-bye. Come back soon.
As I step outside, gunshots, screams, and maniacal laughter fill my ears once more. It's hard to believe that this refined elderly gentleman beside me is the master of that hellish dungeon. So I heard you're the Lord of Carol. Why are you hosting these death matches is an interesting situation. Like, why do you have a whole battle royale happening? But I feel like the River Styx also had a bunch of like dead bodies, and if you fell into it, you're GG's. If I remember correctly, I might be like completely off. It's been a while since I've like brushed up my ancient Greek mythology. But I feel like for where we're going, I'm gonna say, can you really grant wishes? You said the winners of the Zion Hunt can make a wish to the Lord of Charon. Can you actually grant any wish they make?
Of course not. That's something only gods can do. But human wishes are nothing but mundane desires. Fulfilling them is a simple matter.
With Dimitri leading the way, every danger we encounter becomes something to walk past. It allows me to safely traverse this lawless battlefield. Mephisto! Just as I'm about to step over the thin orange-red laser, a familiar crow breaks the silence. Across the street, Mephisto perches on a lamppost. He looks at me and tilts his head. Hi.
Your friend is here to pick you up.
The cane falls onto the laser line, and the Lord of Charon stops at the edge of his territory, taking not a step further.
I'm sure our next meeting will be much sooner than this time.
What do you mean?
I mean, my duty as your escort has come to an end, until we meet again.
That alludes to them potentially having met before. Dimitri watches me leave with an unwavering smile, like an ordinary old man out for a walk in the park. Also, I'm so curious, he must have some kind of crazy evil ability or something. Okay, next part, the match. Silas's house. With Mephisto as my escort, I arrive at the familiar base without a hitch. Thanks. As soon as I enter the building, I hear a violent explosion from one of the rooms. Is Onokainis' base also involved in Zion Hunt? The room is dark. Mindful of Silas's sensitive eyes, I turn on a floor lamp at its lowest setting. In the center of the room stands 4 egg-shaped gaming pods. 3 of them are rocking back and forth. Their surfaces covered in LED lights, pulsate in tandem with the explosion sound effects. Oh. I walk up to Silas's gaming pod and knock on it several times. Silas? Silas! Mephisto's been caught! The base is surrounded! They're after you! Absorbed in his virtual world, Silas doesn't respond. Oh, come on. I walk away and settle into the 4th gaming pod, the only one that's empty. Inside, the surrounding screens transform into an endless expanse of stars. Realistic sound effects immediately fill my ears. I fire up my spaceship and set off to pursue Silas's fleet. I lock onto the engines of the first ship I see, grip the controls and open fire.
Who was that? That's brutal!
Doesn't home my advantage. I target the next ship. It's immediately destroyed. And just like that, only one ship remains in the game aside from mine. It must be Silas's. Activate the ship AI and lock onto ship Q313.
Target spotted. Would you like to initiate tracking?
Divert all power to the engines. Don't let him escape. My ship's engines burst with brilliant blue light as I surge towards Silas's vessel. Ship Q313 remains unfazed. It gracefully spins away from my attacks as I close in. However, the elegant move proves to be costly. The ship's tail grazes a meteor, which triggers red warning lights in Silas's cockpit. The simulation ends with the blaring alarm still echoing as the gaming pod slowly opens. Silas emerges and removes his hologram helmet. Huh?
Why were you so riled up? You blew up half the battlefield, too. Are you satisfied now?
He looks so good. I'm short on time. After I ask my question, I'll go. I expected him to make excuses about losing the game. Instead, he furrows his brow while he stares at me. What?
You had something nice to eat?
No, I was just at Elysium. The owner and I caught up.
Playing dumb isn't very nice, kitten.
She didn't have what was on the connoisseur's menu for her. As he speaks, he moves closer to me as if sensing something.
A special protocore. Is it an ether core?
He can sense the spatial core. Silas's accurate assessment catches me off guard. While trying to keep the energy within me stable, I turn to look at him and respond with an inquisitive smile. Wrong. Weren't you always hoping I'd get stronger?
Who gave it to you?
God, I don't know. Me sounds like I'm a selfish bee. Like, it's like me is kind of cultivating the wrath, selfish, powerful kind of angle. I don't know what the dialogue would lead to, but I'm gonna go with it's related to an incident. It's related to an incident. A few days ago, the Hunters Association Protocol transport vehicle was attacked. I was on it.
I heard. The Association getting humiliated is an excellent source of entertainment for the N109 zone.
Interesting from Mr. R, but okay. Also, I think the fact it was meant to be kept under wraps, and of course Silas knows about it. He has ways to find out anything at this point. A strange person infiltrated the group of attackers. She found me and started talking about these bizarre things. That stuff is still uncertain, so I decided to tell Silas only the simplest parts. Just as I was on the verge of losing consciousness, my body instinctively absorbed the spatial core. His Adam's apple bobs once, and I catch a glimpse of the protocol in his eye emitting a dizzying red glow. Before I can get a better look, he walks to the minibar. He downs a glass of liquor in one go. The turbulent energy within me finally settles down, and I realize Silas is locked in an intense battle against his desire for protocols.
Setting aside the possibility that you're here to show off your shiny new protocore, what brings you to the N109 zone?
I don't necessarily think that is what was going through his head, but I think that that's what she thinks from what she knows of him at this point of everything. I walk toward him and bring up a holographic map on my watch's interface. This map was created during Lincoln City's final field survey before the Chrono Rift catastrophe.
And?
As I continue to zoom in on the display, the words Gaia Research Center appear on the map. The person who almost killed me said I first appeared here, during one of the Unicorn research team's experiments. Silas glances at it before turning his attention to the chessboard on the table.
And you actually believe that nonsense?
I need to go there and find answers. Then I'll know if she's lying or not. Our last game ended in a draw, so I quietly join the chess match as Silas remains quiet. After surveying the chessboard, I move up my rook from the back rank. When I was younger, I had doubts about my past. Later, I figured that so long as I was healthy and safe, none of it really mattered. But a human heart shouldn't contain a protocol. I need to find out who I really am instead of waiting for mysterious people to find me. As soon as I reach for another piece, Silas immediately captures one of my pawns.
And then what? Do you actually believe that learning about your past will make things better?
When I see people, whether close or distant, suddenly racing toward a destination, refusing to accept the unfavorable position, I look at the chessboard again. I take my knight, my only chance for a breakthrough. The one who seems to stay still may be left at a disadvantage forever.
That's just what it looks like on the surface, kitten. As soon as you make your move, you give your opponents an opening.
Is he gonna take
Sometimes the best move is not to make one at all.
As he speaks, he taps my king. It's safe for now, but it's trapped in the setup for a pincer attack. There's little hope of escape. What about you? Before he can pull back his hand, I quickly grab my queen and point it at Silas's eye. Your fusion with a protocol couldn't have been a coincidence either. Is that a friendly piece of advice or a warning? In our brief standoff, he finally shows his first smile of the day.
My situation holds no value as a reference point. Those words were nothing but a distraction so I could win the game.
Silas grabs the chess piece from my hand. Taking my wrist, he guides me to the floor to ceiling. What is it with him and wrist grabbing? As the curtains slowly part, they reveal the night sky. Below us is the N109 zone in its entirety.
Since 2034, the N109 zone has undergone multiple rounds of reconstruction. Look at the outside world. Can you match any of these roads to that old map of yours?
The once straight streets become a maze. Nearly all landmarks have vanished. Surely the people who used to live here.
They left.
Ever as agent handlers for gathering intel?
Dead.
What about the odd workshop's owner? Surely he's...
Unfortunately for you, he just left town yesterday. He won't be back until next month at the earliest.
I frown as my leads get cut off before me.
Do you really want to know?
Are you helping me? Even if I didn't, you'll keep forcing me to find out. This is so ironic for how Silas wanted her to remember. He pushes me closer to the window, then I realize it. The only person who knows the truth has been right here all along.
There, underground.
Following Silas's gesture, I see it. The massive holographic screen in the sky. It's the heart of the Zion hunt I experienced today. A paradise of bloodshed and revelry, the Charon Arena. Would that be where I was? The massive holographic display makes everything feel strangely unreal. The latest rankings continue to scroll by. The individual in first place has remained unchanged since this afternoon. To hold the top spot for so long in such a brutal hunt, he must be strong.
He's been at the top since last night. He's good. I'll give him that.
Okay, either this guy's just gonna die, because it's whatever. But a part of me is curious if he's like, I don't know, maybe another love interest or just another key character. Each change in the rankings marks the end of another life. They know it's suicide, yet they still eagerly rush in. Is that coin really worth it?
I see you know a thing or two. But fewer than 30% of the participants are there for that coin.
Are the rest of them there for
In the N109 zone, what matters more is the desire to hunt, the thirst for bloodshed, the craving for domination. Or a means to prove one's loyalty.
He steps away from the window and the curtains close behind him. Through the gap, a red X appears over the first place portrait, before it vanishes forever from the giant screen. Well, based on your experience, how much longer will the hunt last? Since the dazzling neon lights have been blocked, my thoughts become clearer. The safest option would be to search under the arena after the hunt ends.
By the looks of it, the finals will start tomorrow. This stage always ends quickly. It never goes beyond 6 or 7 days. This year's hunt has some extra stakes involved, so the finals will be more intense. It'll be over in 2 days. After that...
He walks to the sofa with measured steps and takes a seat.
The arena will be demolished.
What? The entire district?
Many have coveted the arena for years, but its owner isn't as young as he used to be. His grip on power isn't the same anymore. So, the vultures circling this territory already have a silent agreement in place. They'll host an overtime match once the Zoian hunt is over.
Everyone's saying Zoyan, and I'm out here saying Zion. So I'll just say Zoyan from now on, okay? Looks like participating in the Zoyan hunt is my last chance to find the Gaia Research Center. And breaking into the arena by myself is no easy feat. Also, Gaia literally is like, Earth. So out here, I'm like, animals, Earth. There's a lot of like Greek stuff happening, especially in terms of Silas. Who knows what awaits in the ruins of the research center? I can't waste too much of my energy on fighting. I need an ally. My gaze falls on Silas, who's sitting on the sofa.
Don't even think about it, kitten.
You've been watching the hunt unfold from the sidelines. Don't tell me you haven't been plotting something.
Are you implying you're the one who has all the schemes?
Pin him down! Pretending to threaten him, I playfully pin him down on the sofa. You said you don't mind me using you, and right now, I really want to use you so I can get into the arena. Queen? It's not like you'll lose if you join. It's a win-win situation, right?
If you want to drag me into this, flattery and tricks won't be enough. I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you, kitten. I have guests to meet, so I can't join you in your gladiator game.
Who? That's presumptuous. There's a knock on the door. Luke and Kieran, who had left the gaming pods, have returned. Their voices come through from the other side.
Boss, our people just delivered their report. We've taken care of all the goods ever brought this time.
Leave a few alive. There's no need to be too thorough.
Yes, sir.
There are a few troublemakers in the area, boss. Can we...
Do as you please.
Thank you, boss.
This is very much giving, like, Chapter 10 of World Underneath. Luke and Kira just being crazy and just wanting to kill people. You know what? Have fun, boys. You deserve it. Your guests are from Ever.
They came all the way here, saying they have a profitable deal to discuss. How could I not play the role of a gracious host?
You're planning to take them all down.
Is it a bad idea?
Absolutely not. And obviously, I've been saying tomorrow's Catch-22 literally links to the aims of the different love interests. And for Silas, he had a big revenge plot against Ever. And he's a vengeful man, he's selfish, he still retains a lot of the personality and mentality aspect of a dragon. So I'm just like, I love this. It's great, actually. With one graceful stride, he helps me stand, grabs my shoulders, and turns me around.
Come. It's not like you're busy. Let's see what kind of presents they've prepared.
After our high-speed ride, we find ourselves before some ruins. They're shrouded in mist and gunsmoke. The air is thick with chaotic energy fluctuation. Frowning, I kick aside some unidentifiable debris and pick up a broken half of a wine bottle. 100-year-old wine, empty jewelry boxes. Don't tell me these are your welcome gift. Silas casually responds as he slowly circles the area and takes in everything.
They know I won't show up, yet they're still playing a game of pretense. Would you like to guess the reason, kitten?
Either Eva is confident enough to think you'll accept their deal, or the deal is just a front. They're hiding something that can be used against you.
That's why I won't sit around waiting for them to make their move. People only show their hand when they're backed into a corner and desperate to survive.
Silas stops walking, picks up a broken gun stock still containing traces of protocol energy and crushes it.
I prefer a direct, efficient approach.
I run my fingers along the energy residue on the walls, using my evil to sense the fluctuations in the air. Various energy signatures are intermingled. although they're erratic, they're not particularly strong. These were meant to deal the killing blow. They're underwhelming.
The real trump card is...
Nearby, a metal wall suddenly collapses. From the dust and debris, multiple armed figures emerge. The silhouettes are arranged in a staggered formation. As electrical currents flicker to life, they reveal how the lower half of each figure's face is a mask made of mechanical components. It's integrated into their bodies. The energy readings are changing. In the blink of an eye, dozens of thin blue beams simultaneously lock onto our foreheads.
They've finally shown themselves.
Just before the beams could pierce us, Silas grabs me and pulls us back. The spot where we once stood is reduced to scorched earth. I'm just about to catch my breath when the beams converge on us again.
Get behind me.
A black-red mist spreads out like a net. It lunges at the blue beams that are attacking us. The mist disintegrates instantly as surging shockwaves and countless energy beams violently burst from all directions. Silas immediately creates another barrier of mist to shield us. But in the blink of an eye, most of it has already been destroyed. These energy beams, can they nullify your evil? Also, linking to Silas's anecdote, there is a specific portion at the beginning of one of the chapters. I want to say it's like section 5 of his anecdote, where essentially it details how he has like a well of power within him, but after a few days he's unable to continue using it for what he was using it for against all those other people during his space pirate like moment. But all of the love interests are being restrained in some form, like all of their powers are being restricted. And for Silas, I'm really curious if we're going to then actually like investigate that a bit more, and if MC is literally the key to also like unrestricting his power.
Antimatter weapons. They actually managed to get their hands on something interesting.
If their weapons are antimatter, then this further aligns with the fact of Silas's energy manipulation being the manipulation of matter itself. But if it's antimatter, because here's the thing, Silas can make someone go kaput, but I don't know if he's literally like, if it's like transference of matter or if it's the actual disintegration of matter. Because if it's those weapons are antimatter, is that not disintegration of matter? I have a lot to think about. He wipes away the blood from his neck, but the wound shows no sign of healing. The figures raise their weapons, at the same time to take aim again, yet Silas responds with a smile instead of being angry. He gathers a more powerful energy storm in his hand. This isn't good. They'll wear down Silas at this rate. Spotting my motorcycle nearby, I quickly dash toward it using the scattered cover for protection. After another explosive blast, I race through the lingering dust cloud and return to Silas's side. Thundering roar of my bike's engine envelops us. Come with me! The motorcycle roars at full throttle as we weave through the N109 zone, and the sound of gunfire is hot on our heels. I duck and dodge, the explosions around us, while Silas sits back in the passenger seat. He wields his protocol weapon as if he's playing a shooting game. Are those really antimatter weapons? Silas, were they specifically designed to take you down?
They're just cheap knockoffs, kitten. Keep your eyes on the road. Besides...
A group of shadowy figures closing in behind us fall as Silas's evil strikes them down.
I'm not alone. I have you.
This feels like a callback to his like end of combat dialogue where he's like, she's like, oh, your plan worked again. With you here, I only need one plan. I'm sorry. Two motorcyclists in black close in from both sides. They're trying to slam into me at the same time. I'm just a driver who follows the traffic rules. Already at full throttle, I make a split-second decision to step on the brakes. I let my motorcycle fall back to dodge their coordinated attack.
They're putting up quite a fight.
How are you planning to take off these guys? They don't have the energy fluctuations I'd see from those monsters, nor do they show any signs of being modified. But their movements are mechanical and rigid. It's as if they're following someone's commands. We don't have much time. We'll reach Caron in 2 blocks.
You better not forget to turn. Let's not crash into it, kitten.
That's so funny. The boundary of the killing zone is ahead. The last untainted street marks the line between sanctuary and hell. A perfect, foolproof plan quickly forms in my mind as I push my motorcycle's horsepower to its limits. True, entering with the leader of Honor Kindness, amidst the wild howls of our pursuers, I charge toward the laser barrier. Well, that means I might end up being a target with you. Time seems to slow down as the orange-red light sweeps over the front wheel of my motorbike. It washes over my bike and Silas, who's behind me. Clearly aware of Charon's rules, our masked pursuers stop just before the boundary. They're forced to watch us slip away. I say that was smart. We turn and enter a deserted alley. My motorcycle finally gives out. Silas and I dismount. Uh-oh. We ended up here after all. Oops. But at least I helped you shake off those pursuers.
I might have believed it was an accident if you didn't sound so enthusiastic.
Our faces suddenly appear on the district's central screen. They're magnified dozens of times over. Anyone who knows of Silas, okay, to be honest, a lot of people don't know what Silas looks like, but it's like, if they did, they would not even try. In the same instant, the gunfire echoing throughout the killing zone falls silent. Then the still air brims with passion as screams resound. They're celebrating, or maybe going wild over Silas's entrance.
You got what you wanted. There's no turning back now.
I just helped you out. It's time for you to return the favor. Go underground with me. We need to check and see if the old Gaia Research Center is really there.
A life debt is impossible to repay. But since you asked so nicely, kitten, do I even have a choice?
With Silas's laughter still in the air, I navigate through the alley's debris and barricades and make my way towards the Charon Arena. Wait a minute. I'm starting to think you were planning to swoop in during the finals and catch everyone in your trap.
I would never do such a thing. I'm not nearly as clever as you are.
Ah, Silas. What a web spinner. Right, to the next part, hunting moment. Okay, esports. Countless bullets whiz above our heads as I take cover. As soon as I crouch down, a missile destroys half of the wall before me. Silas, watch your head. The blinding white light makes me close my eyes. I feel myself being lifted by a powerful force and pulled into his protective embrace. Silas carries me like a cat. With one arm around my waist, he kicks open a door and rushes into a building. An explosion rocks the building from outside. The entire team is wiped out.
We're safe, for now.
Phew. Masked men, wanderers, weapons, guns. There's no end to them. They're really determined to take us down.
In most cases, being too strong is a curse in itself.
I check the betting leaderboard. Silas's name sits at the top. The amount of money people put on him is several times higher than the contestant in second place. If you're not like everyone else, you get punished. They're definitely targeting you.
To think I'd make a splash for my first Zoian hunt. Oh well.
I shoot him a glance and bet my entire paycheck on his name.
Should I say I'm honored?
Since you're already in the spotlight, I might as well profit from it. Just keep the first place spot warm and be my decoy. When I get the money, we'll split it 70-30.
Anyone can make empty promises. And I'm not an altruistic philanthropist, kitten.
Name your price. If I can afford it, then we have a deal.
Oh, you can definitely afford it. It just depends on whether you're willing to give it to me.
That was like his Abyssum Sovereign voice, and even like the view shifting like that. I'm saving that line also because that was delicious. His right eye begins to glow with an eerie red light. My heart races, and I try to look away so I don't get controlled.
Congratulations! You are now in second place on the betting leaderboard.
Uh-oh. But we're together! My communication device vibrates just as Silas fiddles with his phone. It's followed by the melodic notification sound of a successful payment. What are you doing?
I placed a bet on you. Now you have the highest odds in the game.
So hot.
If you win, I'll make a fortune. Do you want to match my wager?
Girl, I used my entire paycheck. I shouldn't have underestimated you. You never make a terrible deal. Don't forget to split the winnings with me. 80-20.
Oh, you're so greedy.
But you're into that. Just as our conversation helps me catch my breath, there's a rustling sound from the corner. Shh. I creep silently towards the source of the sound, then I turn around with my gun raised.
Please, don't hurt me.
My gun is pointed at a frail old woman who's barely alive. Finding someone as old as her in the Zoyan hunt seems unbelievable. But this is the N109 zone. Instead of lowering my gun, I tighten my grip and take another step toward her. How long have you been eavesdropping? Before I can ask another question, Metaflux suddenly surges. A wanderer materializes and instantly lunges at the old woman. Look out! My hunter's instinct takes over before I can think. I try to protect the I don't even need to know what happened. I feel like a part of me is like, she's gonna... because she is gonna prioritize getting rid of wanderers, that's gonna be used against her, especially if people are using wanderers in the hunt. My hunter's instinct takes over before I can think. I try to protect the elderly woman by throwing myself over her. As I brace for impact, shards of Metaflux explode behind me. They're intertwined with the wisps of a familiar mist. I turn around to see Silas standing behind us. I haven't seen that gesture. I feel like I haven't seen that gesture in a long time, or I haven't seen it before. He flexes his wrist while traces of his evil linger around his hand.
I take my eyes off you for 1 second and you just rush in. The association definitely trained you well, kitten.
I'm grateful that you rescued me and gave me a backhanded compliment. Just as I try to push myself up, a sharp pain shoots through my entire body. I look down. A dagger pulsing with evil energy is lodged in the lower right of my abdomen, and the old woman's trembling hands clutch its handle.
I didn't mean to. I was trying to kill the Wanderer. You're the one who got in the way.
Uh-oh. Silas picks me up as the old woman releases her grip on the dagger and flees.
Fool.
A black-red mist starts chasing after her, but I hold back my pain and press down on Silas's arm. I shake my head. Let's take care of my wound first. I'm already being vengeful. God, I love that about him. I grab the first aid kit from the shelf and sink into the couch. I open it and search through its contents.
Let me do it.
It's fine. I can handle it.
You slipped several times already. I don't think you can handle it.
It's not that bad. Hey! Black-red mist grabs my arm and lifts me into the air. Yet my fall is unexpectedly gentle. I find myself lying across Silas's lap as he sits on the sofa. Oh my god. Wildly intimate. But like a main quest situation. Like it's not even a branch situation which is like framed in a more intimate relationship. This is a main quest situation. Okay, Silas. I find myself lying across Silas's lap as he sits on the sofa. The first aid kit lands next to us.
You'll break the latch if you keep doing that.
The medicine sends a sharp pain into my wound. Trying to distract myself, I stare at the tangled cables on the ceiling.
Have you counted how many cables are up there?
Shh! Don't interrupt me. I only got to 27. My attention shifts and I meet his watchful gaze.
Does it hurt?
I'm gonna be transparent. It really hurts.
This is a special antiseptic from Charon's black market. No one has ever claimed it doesn't hurt. It's extremely effective since it makes wounds heal 10 times faster than normal.
That's amazing. Really? Then the pain is worth it.
I lied. It's just a saline solution.
Frickin' asshole. Ugh. Silas discards the cotton ball after he finishes cleaning the wound. He holds the hemostatic dressing between his palms. Then he pauses.
You seem distracted. Are you thinking about that old woman?
Yeah.
Are you mad?
I'm gonna not be mad because, like, even though it's like, oh, wrathful, yeah, but it's like she, like, wasn't actually trying to hurt her. She wasn't actually trying to hurt us. I'm not. It's just, I wouldn't say I'm angry. I'm just curious about what made her and the other people who live here turn out like that.
Maybe they don't think anything is wrong with what they've become. One man's hell is another man's paradise.
He applies a small amount of pressure to my wound. I wince and catch the playful glint in his eyes.
You can barely take care of yourself right now, but you're still going to worry about others? Most people here are foolish. They run after their desires and never realize the treasure they were born with.
Don't tell me you're talking about their lives when you said treasure.
I'm referring to their soul.
Silas tilts his head slightly and points to his eye.
Even at just 21 grams, the soul is one of the most precious gifts the universe has given to humanity.
21 grams. That's an interesting way to, like, give solidity to souls. When you collect souls, are you basically stealing from the universe?
Did you just change the subject by making fun of me? Can you stand up?
You shouldn't underestimate me. I jump up from his knee and stretch my limbs to prove I'm fine.
Don't push yourself. In this game of life and death, even the smallest vulnerability could cost you everything. Leaving right now wouldn't be a good idea. Stay put and keep quiet.
Hearing the sounds of gunfire in the distance, I think for a bit before agreeing with Silas's assessment. But just as I'm about to sit down on the couch, I see a familiar blue beam appear by Silas. We can't catch a break. I just want to mention I do really like this parallel because it reminds me of one of Silas's 4-star cards where MC happens upon him injured. Like, that's quite a bit with Silas actually, but at the last possible moment, Silas and I leap from the window and narrowly escape the blast. In the depths of the dark alley, familiar figures emerge. It's those masked figures again. They're very persistent.
They seem to be very confident in their antimatter weapons. In fact, they genuinely believe those are enough to finish me off.
They might, though. What I meant was, don't underestimate them. I glance in their direction while I speak. There are 5 of them. The alley isn't a dead end, so we can go left and flank them. Silas, draw their attention. I'll intercept them.
You already planned everything out, huh?
He nods. Then he takes 2 steps to position himself as my shield.
Move quietly, and watch out for the other hyenas who are lying in ambush.
After the final thunderous blast, the dark alley is once again swallowed by nighttime fog and deathly silence. Are you okay?
You stole the words right out of my mouth.
They're so cute being concerned for each other. Silas quickly checks my waist for any signs of bleeding. Then he turns his attention to the broken weapons and lifeless figures on the ground.
The numbers don't add up. Almost 10 of them are missing.
Hopefully they're already dead somewhere else.
They won't die that easily with weapons like those. They're most likely in hiding and waiting for another chance to strike.
How did they know you were here? Did our popularity give us away? Silas takes my wrist and his fingertips brush against my inner arm. My fingers curl out of reflex. What are you doing? He releases my wrist and holds up an almost transparent chip between his fingers. What's that? Silas crushes the item and drops its internal components to the ground.
A tracking device.
Damn it. Ugh! I tried to think back to everyone who could have planted that on me. There are too many possibilities. Hold on. No. So I was gonna say, at Elysium, she had her neck touched, I think, by Aislinn. But it couldn't have been Aislinn because Aislinn is kind of being assisted by Silas, because he's one of the investors, essentially, is the best way I can put it. I forgot that exact word that they used. Ever Dimitri, that old woman. Dimitri was like, oh, they're going to meet again. Ever, we haven't seen an instance where that would have been ever, but that old woman feels like a bit too... How would she have known? I wonder if it's going to let me choose multiple options. Let's try Ever. Could Ever be behind this? After all, tracking me would lead them straight to you. They'd be killing two birds with one stone.
Regardless, this place isn't safe anymore. Come along now.
Celis takes my wrist again and leads me out of the alley. I really am curious about what all the other options are. Okay, soul time. Midnight, Velocity Vintage Cars. I thought finding a suitable hideout would take a lot of effort. But Silas knows exactly where to go. He quickly leads me to a vintage automobile repair shop near the area. 2 vintage street lamps flicker inside. A desert highway backdrop and bullet holes decorate the entrance. It's quite fitting for our situation. After making sure we weren't being followed, I breathe a sigh of relief and pull up a chair to ease my pain. Ever just won't quit. Isn't there a way to deal with them once and for all? The arena fights are bad enough as it is.
The ones we took out were only minions receiving commands. For signals to be distributed simultaneously, there must be a leader carrying the central control unit. Take out their control unit, and we can disable the entire group.
Speaking of which, I detected an unusual metaflux fluctuation when I encountered them. Silas turns around to look at me.
What makes it unusual?
I'm not sure how to explain it. Maybe it's connected to that control unit you mentioned.
They've really been busy behind the scenes. They're using protocores like they're toys.
Silas averts his gaze and turns away. He walks to a corner of the shop.
Change of plans. We need to step up our game.
What?
Find the leader, neutralize them, and extract the control unit.
I agree with this plan. We're going to do reverse tracking? That might take work. I'll use those unique fluctuations to locate them. Silas crouches down by the decorative bar counter along the wall. The sound of rummaging soon fills the air. What are you doing? Oh, are you looking for weapons?
I'm hungry, so I'm looking for food.
Valid. I sit up. My interest is piqued. Is this place one of your properties?
Maybe.
That's a yes.
Those with refined tastes know how to seek out places that match their standards. The vehicles outside are enough to prove the owner's discerning eye.
Yeah, compliment yourself.
I spoke too soon.
No food? After retrieving a bag of food from the cabinets decorated like wooden crates, Silas returns to the small table. A look of displeasure is on his face.
These are emergency rations. If you're not picky, try to eat as much as you can.
Canned food? That's not too bad. I thought it would be much worse considering how you acted.
Weren't you the one who kept asking for more home comforts at the base?
The base is for living, but this place is for surviving. The standards are different. Seriously, have you thought about making your chefs develop canned foods? With their skills, we could have a gourmet canned food experience next time we end up in a situation like this. She's anticipating it happening again. While I keep rambling, the cans are opened and arranged. Silas gives me a look but doesn't argue. What?
How's your wound? No amount of talking will change that pain.
I'm starting to think the medicine wasn't normal. It hurts even more now that I've stopped moving. I take a huge bite out of the canned luncheon meat. I try to distract myself from the pain by chewing. I'm going to pretend it's vegetarian meat, because I'm vegetarian. As I reach for the energy drink, his hand hovers above the can. He sprinkles a medicinal powder over it. I stare in disbelief. Did you just spike my drink right in front of me?
Are 2 painkillers going to be enough to knock out Lincoln's finest hunter?
No.
I know you want to stay alert. You're worried the extended release painkillers will slow your reactions. Keeping you safe for half the night will be easy. I'm here, which is more than enough.
He's so sweet, what the hell? He picks up the can and moves the luncheon meat aside before setting it down in front of me. The small table becomes a chessboard once again, but this time my opponent sends his pieces into my territory to supply his queen.
As for whether you want to let your guard down for half the night, that's up to you, kitten.
Since you put it that way, under his watchful gaze, I alternate between sipping my drink and eating. I trust him. I'm not playing coy this time. I quickly replenish my energy after consuming 3 cans of protein-rich food. The pain gradually dulls. Looking at my leftovers, I notice that Silas has barely touched his food. With a questioning look, I wave the can at him.
I'm full.
You were full after eating 1 slice of meat.
I don't want to eat. I don't like it.
He's so petty. You're the one who said you were hungry. In the dim lighting, Silas fidgets with the can opener. His gaze lingers on a particular vehicle, and his interest is evident.
The last Slavernos in the world. This shop's owner really knows how to hide treasures in Caron.
Sitting with a full stomach only makes me drowsy, so I get up and follow him into the maze of vintage cars. A distorted figure flashes in my peripheral vision. I turn around only to see my reflection in the glossy black car door.
The Phantom Zero, produced 60 years ago. Comfortable seats, spacious in the back.
Thinking I'm interested, Silas turns back to stand beside me. Our distorted reflections merge on the car door.
This model was always popular with young dreamers. Are you one of them?
First of all, those young dreamers from 60 years ago should be elders by now. Secondly, this car is cool. I won't deny liking it, even if you make fun of me.
I wasn't.
He does something I can't see, and the pitch-black Phantom Zero's headlights suddenly turn on. They cast their beam on another car in front.
I have daydreams too.
That's cute. Under the circle of headlights, the car stands like an actor center stage who's waiting for its story to begin. Silas steps into the light with one hand in his pocket. Unhurried, he leans forward with his hand on the car door to get a closer look. Is this what you mentioned earlier? The Silverno?
Slaverno means explorer. It was the last model this company produced before going bankrupt.
Oh, that's tragic. It sounds like they were exploring different methods to escape their desperate situation. Curious, I peer inside. A fine layer of dust has settled over the interior. Their exploration might not have ended well, but at least the name shows they never gave up hope.
You have a knack for spinning inspirational tales.
He looks more relaxed as he's leaning to the side. Against the car door, he looks at me.
In reality, there was no tale about surviving despite the odds. It was just an ambition that withered before its time. In their final moments, they poured their last defiant breath into crafting this car's body and soul. What stands before you now is an embodiment of ambition that died 60 years ago.
I feel like this is meant to be a parallel and a metaphor. The car's headlights illuminate one side of him. They're almost blindingly bright. Looking at his reflection in the car window, I can't help but think that if this car had a soul, it'd be just like Silas. I understand what he's trying to tell me. The essence of exploration is desire, and desire in turn fuels ambition. It pushes us to explore beyond our limits. Just like you. You've always been chasing after a certain future.
Really?
That's the feeling I get from you sometimes. There's a future you know the ending to. You're still determined to reach it. And you're still insistent on taking me with you. Silas raises an eyebrow. His body moves in one fluid motion from where he's leaning against the car door. Then he's right in front of me.
Are you sure you're part of my ending?
I'm just making an educated guess based on experience. If I'm wrong, you're free to correct me. As someone who's done every single bit of Silas content, this is feeling heavy. Like, this is so heavy, especially with, like, why he acted the way he did in the beginning of Long Awaited Revelry, because he wanted her to remember him and everything, like, especially with how they ended in Abyssum Sovereign. Oof.
Given our positions, you should be the one who's eager to deny being associated with me. And at this point, you already missed the best chance you had to deny it.
Seemingly done with the conversation, he stands up, takes my wrist, and leads me to the Phantom Zero. He opens the back door and tilts his head.
Sleep here tonight. Sound good?
The back seat is spacious, and the cushions are definitely soft enough. I turn. As expected, Silas chooses a Silverno. He reclines in the driver's seat, his legs popped up on the open door. The respectful distance, I appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot.
Turn those lights off.
Okay. The car lights are off, and darkness once again blankets our surroundings. As I lie down, I realize how much fatigue I had built up from constantly fighting and running around. My head starts to feel heavy. Yet at times like this, thoughts seem to resurface more persistently. It's beyond my control. Silas? Silas! I look up through the car window and see his foot resting on the door frame. It sways ever so slightly. I can tell you're awake.
Listen to yourself. You sound like you're talking in your sleep.
I struggle to sit up and lean against the window. I speak in a soft voice. I might be half asleep, but I know this plan will work. In 3 hours, it will be dawn. People will have their guard down after waking up. That's when we'll split up and make our move. You'll draw the Wanderers away and help me create the conditions for detecting fluctuations. I'll find a way to obtain the control unit the Masked People's leader has.
Move at dawn, splitting up. Are you really treating this like it's just another Lincoln mission?
Lincoln never gives me this much freedom. I blink slowly and force myself to stay awake just for a little longer. I'm not playing around. I helped you deal with Eva, so you have to help me get the gold coin. Then I can enter the arena.
And if I refuse?
Well, you can think about why you're really here. His foot stops moving. As I fight to stay awake, I see him stand up and approach me through my hazy vision. Then a large hand steadies my head and gently guides it down, before giving it a pat.
Get some sleep. Number 2.
Number 2? I feel stupid. I feel stupid. Like, I feel like because I was absorbing so much information and I've been at this for an hour and a half, my brain's not braining. My brain is not braining. Just number 2 mean? Oh, I feel like this is gonna slap me in the face. I'm gonna be editing later and I'm gonna want to hit myself. Hello, editing Safina here. I have realized what I missed. The number 2 was in reference to our character being number 2 in the Zoyan hunt, and Silas is number 1. It's okay. We all make mistakes. I, too, have my moments of being a silly goose. But anyway, let's continue and find out what happens in the remainder of Chapter 1 with this guy. Okay, we're about to go into Connoisseur's Dessert, so maybe this is leading us back to Elysium, potentially, who knows. I have also, this is such a minor detail, but I switched my cursor over to Silas's one, because I didn't know if it was going to be switching between, but it seems that we're persistently sticking with Silas at the moment, so I'm just going to leave it with Silas's cursor. Okay, Connoisseur's Dessert. 3 hours later. Fog seeps into the abandoned factory as I nimbly leap onto a shipping container. I'm getting closer to the energy fluctuation I've detected. Soon enough, I spot approximately 10 motionless figures standing in a narrow gap between the containers. 6, 7, 8, 9. The rest of them are here. According to the plan, Silas is dealing with the other contestants and wanderers to obtain the arena entry token, a gold coin. Meanwhile, I'm tracking down those masked figures. That's why I'm here. I'll take down their leader first. Once I find out who's in charge, the rest will be a piece of cake. I close my eyes and attempt to channel the Spatium Core's energy. Resonance. From my heart, warm energy surges and envelops my entire body. My racing heartbeat is warning me that I might experience an energy overload if I continue. There. I sense a distinct energy signature and pinpoint the signal source in the chaos. I leap down from the shipping container, grab a masked figure's shoulders to pin him down, and press my gun against his forehead. With inhuman reflexes, he flips over and knocks me away. His chest doesn't rise or fall as he breathes. Instead, intermittent electrical currents crackle from within. Their leader is an android. Before the other masked figures can raise their guns, I pull the trigger. The bullets pierce the cold metallic chest above me. As if connected by the same energy source, the surrounding masked figures clutch their chests. Their movements were delayed by a second. I place my palm on the leader's lowered head and detect something unusual. Within 2 fingers, I reach into the eye socket and extract an artificial eye. I whip. Sparks fly from the severed wires as the machinery, still functioning, freezes. The masked figures have lost their power source. They fall to the ground one after the other and let out pained groans. I hold up the artificial eye to the moonlight. As I suspected, protocol particles within its shell emit a faint glow in the darkness. I'll be taking this. Elysium. Elysium's neon lights shine as they always do as I arrive at its entrance.
Well, won't you look at that? Someone's still alive.
Okay, I'm ranked 2nd on the leaderboard. I can't let all those people lose their money because of me.
You're too kind.
I need to lay low here for now. How am I going to contact Silas?
I see something's troubling you. When you have a lot on your mind, you should treat yourself to a good meal. The body knows what it needs.
The special menu item. I sit down at the bar and remember what Aslan said about offering services beyond filling empty stomachs. I might as well see what this place is really capable of. The connoisseur's menu, please. Okay, this feels like it's rewarding players who actually read the world underneath. Because, please, the menu is promptly presented to me. My gaze sweeps across the peculiar dish names one at a time until it lands on the last item. Sweet Evil Trap.
Every dish in the connoisseur's menu tells a story from the N109 zone.
There's today's special dish, Sweet Evil Trap. Pepper walnut tart, rosemary gelato, pomegranate jelly, red wine marshmallow, and 10.5 grams of soul. Description: I'm waiting for you.
But the story behind this one hasn't started yet. It's waiting for someone to order it. In fact, it's been waiting for a long time now.
5 grams of soul. And he said 21 grams of soul, so that's half a soul.
Even at just 21 grams, the soul is one of the most precious gifts the universe has given to humanity.
So why... Okay, pause. Is this saying that a soul is worth 21 grams, so half a soul is 10.5 grams, so whose half soul is it? Is the half soul Silas? Hold on. She tied their lives together in Abyssum Sovereign. Sorry, spoilers. She tied their lives together in Abyssum Sovereign, so their souls are connected. They literally have a soul bond against prophecy itself. So is the 10.5 grams of soul his soul because it's meant to be their souls together? Silas practically has "I prepared something for you" written all over his face. I close the menu. I'll order this one then. The red wine marshmallows are sweet, and the pomegranate juice dances across my tongue.
How is it?
Also, N109 Zone has allegories to being the realm of the dead, Hades' realm. Silas has Hades parallels, and the pomegranate is a motif used across Silas's content stuff. So her now eating the pomegranate is almost like her eating the fruit of the underworld and taking up her place as the queen of the N109 Zone. Oh my god! The notes of roasted rosemary and walnut intertwine. Layer by layer, they unfold on my palate in an intricate dance of flavors. Also, I just want to say, I can't speak for walnuts. There might be some other things happening, especially with the red wine as well. But for rosemary, I know rosemary is also meant to be I think a demon repellent. So that's interesting. It's like him.
Your satisfaction is our greatest source of motivation. Here's your bill.
I look at it and see a 5-digit number. This is the price for one dessert.
I guess it can be if you're willing to pay that much.
Can we not put it on Silas's tab? But also, I think it's meant to be something else, like a communication number or something? Or a code?
Try inputting these numbers into a map.
Doesn't the arena block signals?
There's always an exception.
I follow Aslan's instructions. A red dot appears on the previously inactive arena map. 8 o'clock West District Docks. There's an interesting choice in terms of locations. Aslan brings a finger to her lips.
Elysium has more uses than you can ever imagine.
Docks are completely deserted. Abandoned vehicles are scattered haphazardly across the area. Come on, Silas. If you don't show up soon, my cover's going to be blown. Sequence! Oh, thank God I changed my cursor beforehand. Her clothes are not opportune for this moment. Like, I'm sorry. She should be wearing her, like, full, like, new hunter outfit. Not the default one, because I hate that one. This one's, like, fine, but it's also like, girl, this is not really prepped enough for the situation you're in. I wanted her to be wearing, like, the long black jacket situation. Like, where it's, like, a cropped black jacket, and then it's got the long part that's, like, sticking out from her belt. I love that outfit.
You're late.
When I show up on time for a deal, someone usually gets carried away. I'm fashionably late for good luck.
Well, MC is voiced now. This is where I take a back seat.
No need to thank me. Get in.
You're so hot.
Thanks, I guess.
Where is it?
Toss it to me.
For you?
Nothing?
Empty. What do you mean?
As you can see, it's a pass to the arena.
No time for jokes. Where's the gold coin?
It was tampered with, so I fed it to a wanderer. We can't have loose ends, kitten.
What the? Pin him down.
You destroyed it?
There are other ways to enter the arena. I can guarantee that. I'm being honest. You know that.
This is steamy. So used to voicing MC at this point that, like, when MC's voiced, I'm like, oh. I'm gonna continue the sequence and then see how I feel. If I really feel like I'm missing it, then I'll come in and do it. But, like, for Zane, but otherwise I'm just gonna... Oh god, he looks gorgeous, doesn't he?
Don't move.
What?
We're being followed. We're going to have to fight if we want to leave. Why don't we call a temporary truce?
We don't know how many are still in hiding. What are the odds?
With you, guaranteed victory.
With you here, I only need one plan.
Hold on.
They look like people.
Evil Silas, huh?
Then you should help me fix that. Change of perspective.
I'm gonna use him to get up, right?
I'm charging extra for this. Look at us.
I'll say.
Someone's eager to die. too late for regrets.
Sorry, he is aura. He is aura. He truly is aura. Like his aura is so crazy. His aura is just so crazy. And the confidence, the arrogance, the cockiness, because he knows he's like capable. He can handle it. He can do anything. Oh my god, yes.
Nice control. You're good at driving.
Anyone ever told you that your driving stability needs some work?
Any suggestions I don't consider are filed under never heard of it.
The car emerges from the tunnel and races through the streets of the killing zone. Please don't tell me you went for a joyride earlier.
I didn't. I just grabbed a bite to eat.
There we go, because the food was not matching his palate. You had a meal.
I couldn't get what I actually wanted, so I had to settle for the next best thing.
Come to think of it, I rarely encountered any wanderers while searching for the masked people. I guess someone was helping me from the shadows after all. But Silas doesn't look like he enjoyed his food. How were the wanderers? Delicious?
They were so unpalatable that it's not even funny.
He's so cute! Aw. Aww. Poor little Silas couldn't get a tasty treat.
Not only am I picky, but I have an enormous appetite.
He's greedy. I playfully shake my milk tea. Even though you were starving, you still bought me this.
Isn't it common courtesy not to show up empty-handed?
What a gentleman. I pull up the live feed. The participant count in the top right shows the number 2. That means Silas and I are the only ones left. The gold coin marker flashes on the map, but we ignore them. We're heading straight for the arena in the center of the area. Do you really have another way to get in?
Yeah.
In the distance, we see a barrier formed by interwoven blue and orange lights. Instead of slowing down, Silas steps on the gas. The car is going to charge into it.
Hold on tight.
As soon as we hit the barrier, its violent energy tears our vehicle apart. It's going to be turned into heavy chunks of scrap metal. Silas uses this as an opening. With his evol, he tears open the barrier. The other way to get in was crashing into it?
What? It worked, didn't it?
Silas. Silas pulls me to my feet in one fluid motion. I take a moment to steady myself before looking at our surroundings. The arena is bathed in dazzling blue and orange lights, the same ones that were part of the barrier. The spectator stands are filled with floating holographic screens. The luminous path extends beneath our feet. It leads to a central area where several metallic platforms stand beneath floating crystal structures. There must be some kind of mechanism here that will let us go underground. When we approach this part of the arena, we don't find any mechanism. However, a peculiar spot on the central platform catches my eye.
Under normal circumstances, the gold coin would be the key to go underground and meet our Lord of Charon.
But this can't be considered normal circumstances.
There's always more than one way to beat a game. Besides, it doesn't matter if you had the gold coin. The Zoian hunt stopped being fair a long time ago, kitten.
He taps the ground with his foot.
Listen.
I can't hear anything, but I sense faint metaflux fluctuations.
Maybe we can do this.
Black-red energy particles seep into the ground. A few seconds pass before the metaflux readings suddenly spike to dangerous levels. The ground rumbles and a horizontal crack appears in the central area to reveal a massive creature underneath. It quickly opens its eyes and leaps. It's a wanderer! The wanderer is encased in a massive shell. It instantly releases a powerful burst of metaflux. Does the N109 zone prepare these kind of surprises for every Zoian hunt?
Of course not. I suspect this grand spectacle is their idea of a welcome party for honored guests from afar.
Who's trying to mess with us this time? What do they want?
I don't care. I've had enough of this game. And its endless amount of rules.
He stands at the edge of a raised platform as black-red mist spirals up from his arms. It engulfs his entire body.
Let's end this once and for all.
Hot. Body so... We're now going into the battle sequence. My AirPods needed to recharge and so did my iPad, so had to take a bit of a break there. But let's go into this fight.
This battle will be over in a few minutes.
We shouldn't underestimate it.
Let's attack it together. You can decide when.
I'll make sure they're dead.
Be careful. Don't let it hit you.
Silas!
It can't escape.
I'm so used to using Relentless
You're
Conqueror
too close.
and Abyss and Sovereign.
That's mine. We could have done some more training. Let's attack it together. You can decide when. It's your time to shine.
My turn. I'll show you.
We're halfway there. If we're covered, be careful. Let's attack it together. You can decide when.
I'll make sure they're dead.
Stay on your toes. It's changing how it attacks. Where are you going? Let's settle this in one fell swoop. Let's attack it together. You can decide when. It's your time to... Ready?
I was born ready.
Let's finish this.
It's your turn.
Okay, if you say so. It's time to meet your maker.
Everything went well.
Now we're back to normal orientation. Oh. There was no cutscene, it just like immediately ended the fight. Okay, interesting. Okay, so now we're going, like, there's 3 trial sequences, so I'm just going to do those off screen. And that was the first chapter of Death and Rebirth. I immediately then go into the second chapter, so I will be uploading that as a separate video because I think this one's just a little bit too long. But thank you for spending time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Goodbye!